Welcome back to Tungsten Tales and Darts Daily as we head into the first Premier League night of the season. The 17-week show opens up in Belfast tomorrow night, ahead of round one of the Premier League fixtures for 2025. Luke Littler, of course, the reigning world champion and the reigning Premier League champion from 2024. He will be in a repeat of the World Championship final against Michael van Gerwen. But we have three more fixtures along with that to preview for you today, as we have a little look at what the opening night of the Premier League could offer over in Belfast. And as ever, 8 players in the Premier League. We've done our rundown of the selections that were made by the PDC and Sky Sports just after the World Championship final, and those are Chris Doby, Gerwen Price, Stephen Bunting, Rob Cross, Luke Littler, Michael van Gerwen, Nathan Aspinall, and Luke Humphries. We'll kick things off as far as the preview goes for Belfast with the opening game of the night and the return to the Premier League of Chris Doby. He was in it a couple of years ago and he won on the opening night over in Belfast 2 years ago. 1 year away, and up until the World Championships, not the most profitable year for Hollywood, but a semi-final run at Alexandra Palace pipped a couple of players to the post as far as those last couple of Premier League spots were concerned, and Gerwen Price, another of those names who profited from a quarter-final run at the World Championships and will now face Doby on opening night. Over the best of 11 legs, it's tough to pick between these two, but we've seen some good stuff from Gerwen Price on the opening few events of the season, including those World Series events over in Bahrain and the Netherlands. So I will go with Gerwen Price to win his opening game of the 2025 Premier League. Next up, we have Stephen Bunting, who is unseated now as the Masters champion after Luke Humphries went and won the PDC World Masters over the weekend in Milton Keynes. He will take on Rob Cross, who exited early at Arena MK. He did win the Dutch Darts Masters a couple of weeks ago and will need to find some of that form if he's to beat one of the form players in the world at the moment in Stephen Bunting. He's number 5 in the world, and he spoke to us in Milton Keynes, said he's looking to break into that top 4 and secure those spots already for 2026. So I expect Stephen Bunting to be the man to go over the line against Rob Cross. The third match of the evening will be that repeat of the World Championship final, Luke Littler and Michael van Gerwen. And if the form of the weekend is anything to go by, Luke Littler is going to be hitting some absolutely astronomical numbers. Nearly 109 average, the losing average to Johnny Clayton in the quarterfinals. He did, of course, beat James Wade by 8 legs to 0. The former Masters champion Wade not even getting a leg off the nuke. Michael van Gerwen was also defeated fairly early on, has to be said, by Dimitri Vandenberg at the PDC World Masters. But we know revenge will be on the mind for Michael van Gerwen against Luke Littler. I think Littler may just have too much in the locker for van Gerwen on this occasion. The form we've seen over the past few weeks. And the final quarterfinal, the opening night of the Premier League, is Nathan Aspinall and Luke Humphries, the new PDC World Masters champion. Good start, consistent start to the season for Nathan Aspinall. Quarterfinal at that World Championship. And then some reasonable results and performances on those World Series events, backed up with another quarterfinal at the World Masters. The game seems to be there. The injury trouble seems to be out the window now. But Luke Humphries, obviously in good form, obviously has the fire in the belly. He said his 2 aims for the 2025 season was to win the PDC World Masters and the Premier League. He's already ticked one of those off, and I expect him to get the job done over Aspinall in the opening quarterfinal for him over in Belfast. So that will leave Gerwen Price and Stephen Bunting in the first semi-final. And if it is that, I will be going for Stephen Bunting to put aside the misery and the disappointment of the PDC World Masters and make the final on his return to the Premier League. And Luke Humphries against Luke Littler, a match I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot over the next 12 months or so, not just in the Premier League, but on the European Tour as well. An extremely tough one to call, but I will go for Luke Littler on this occasion. I think the Nuke will be spurred on by that early quarterfinal exit at the PDC World Masters, and to get a win on the opening night of the Premier League, get those maximum 5 points, will certainly put their disappointment to bed. And if he is to face Stephen Bunting in the final and the format stays at the best of 11 legs, which it does, then maybe Mr. Littler will be able to get over the line and get his first big win of 2025 back in the Premier League. So Belfast tomorrow night, as I'm speaking. The following night will be the 13th of February, night 2 at the OVO Arena in Glasgow. We'll run through that when the time comes next Wednesday. Of course, we've got PDC Pro Tours as well next Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday being those European Tour qualifiers. Thanks very much for watching the first of our Premier League previews. Getting your predictions down in the comments below on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. And we're live over on TikTok pretty much every day now, talking about the latest darts news. So if you've not already headed over there and checked out our TikTok channels, you're more than welcome to do so. Thank you very much for tuning in again, and we'll see you very, very soon.